Yeah, I'm ready. 5:15, I'd like to call the December 14th Planning Commission to order, starting with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Also move.
And I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any changes to the? Is there any changes to the? No. Okay, we'll go with,
Can you call the order or call the vote?
oh, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Motion's carried. Okay. Number 3 is review for approval of the October 26th, 2023 Planning Commission minutes. I need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, with the review for the approval of a CSSM for 1919 Virgin Road.
So I'm gonna have Chad, he's been working on this. This one was a little complex with some of the going ons with the property there, so I know he's worked through this with our Public Works Department. I think he's ready to lead us through what the CSM would encompass.
Okay, so the CSM that you have in your packet would be dividing off the current existing house on 1919 Pershing. Phyllis Johnson property right here. You see that? So it'd be this property right here. The family is looking at breaking off the existing house off of the parcel, and then their plan, or they're considering right now, working with a developer to develop this into other and additional residential lots. I think it's really premature right now to discuss and kind of figure out how that would look, whether roads would be extended, how the utilities would be included. There's a lot of engineering that would be involved in that, but the concept right now would be to break off the existing house off of that lot to allow the engineers and or developers that they're working with the box to kind of play around with, and for a conceptual process to consider subdividing that off for additional lots. How many would fit in there, how that would look, can't tell you at this point, way too early, but that's the concept right now of the proposed CSM, is break off the house to allow for future development in that area. Missy has gone through, double checked all the points, everything looks good, that aspect. So right now the engineer that we're working with and the owners are looking at getting this first process through to break that off, approve the CSM so they can continue that investigation. Any questions at this point?
Dave, just 71 feet, that's wide enough for a lot to the right of the house.
What's that?
71 feet to right there. Is that portion wide enough for another lot?
Yes. Yeah, 60 is there.
That's what I thought. I just was double checking on there, seen that.
How did we end up with Werner Allen Road encroaching on the back of this property?
There's just a pathway that goes from there to.
Well,
back.
yeah.
The road was developed at some point and it stopped right there, and it was probably developed before I was in town, obviously. So,
Yeah.
you know, I can't tell you the rhyme and reason.
Well,
And
probably that.
maybe because the lot was
Yeah,
there.
and she maybe didn't want a road to be going through there. You
At
know,
that time.
so.
Yeah, they did that little walk-through thing.
Roads and developments are made in segments. So that's where that segment
Sure.
stopped, and
Yeah,
potentially now it's the next phase of that segment, potentially.
It must be a right of way then with the sidewalk, where the sidewalk went through? No,
There is the trail that currently leaves off the south end of Warner Allen and then meanders and gets to this, it's called alley right here. So it looks like right now this is city right away. So there is a section of trail right here that is on her property. We cannot find an easement for that. I have no clue how that got worked in. So we're kind of working through that process right now, but that would have to be part of the consideration. You know, whether we can continue to have some type of trail system in there, whether it's turned into roadway for an extension of Warner Allen. Like I said, way too early to figure out, but there is a section of trail. We cannot find an easement. So I don't know why or how that handshake deal at the time got in, you know,
that's a blacktop sidewalk,
blacktop trail.
and I would almost bet the city's maintained it, if the city's maintained it, it's the city's property.
No.
but I think
no.
years,
No,
Oh, no.
years ago,
where
I
you get
think,
up, where they give you right away to put a sidewalk in, you maintain it, you mean to tell me the city doesn't come by that,
Yeah,
like,
but you gotta have proof that, you gave them permission to, not a handshake deal, that's not gonna work.
I think years ago, Walt and Phyllis just,
said go
they were
ahead.
having so much trouble
Yeah.
with people trespassing
Walking through there
that
anyway.
they wanted to have
Yeah.
a place where they were telling people, okay, if you want to get from here to here, please go right here.
That safe walks to
So-
school would have been a good example of that.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
place for him to get through to get to the high school.
I think that whole thing was just out of Phyllis and Walt's good heart,
Mhm.
as I remember, yeah.
I sure would hope they would allow that.
We're gonna have to work through that process right now. I mean, back in the day, those things probably may have happened, but today we wanna make sure it's legal and. you
Is
know,
Phyllis still? I know she's 99 or something now.
She's a nursing.
She's
home.
in a nursing home, but
I-
she.
I
the
talked to her
last-
son.
She
I talked
was
to her
pretty
son, that's what he
coherent.
said.
Oh, I thought she was in Fond du Lac now. Okay, well, anyway, the last time I talked to her, which was a couple of years ago, she was sharpening the tack. She might be able to give you the story on it, yeah.
But we'll have to work through that process as, you know, whatever happens with this potential development. So this will be the first phase of this, to break this off, and I'm sure whatever site plan, whatever proposed plat comes through to potentially break this up, you'll be seeing that next.
Based on our ordinance, this last split wouldn't create anything outside our current zoning ordinance would allow. Recommend approval.
They develop it, do they need two exits? Or is it not big enough? Can
We
they
probably
do
have
one
them come up
access?
with a concept and then reconcile it to our zoning.
There is language about you can't have a cul-de-sac that's longer than so many feet. I
Right.
don't have it per memory, but that would have to be vetted out.
Explored then?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, good with pine trees.
Is there any more discussion on this?
I would make a motion that we approve the certified survey map as presented.
And I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, number 5, review upcoming agenda items.
As of right now, we have
Okay. Review next meeting date, tentatively, it's January 25th, 2024. Looking for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.